Hello class, so I first want to talk with you about choosing items for your still life. And like I said, in the symbolic self-portrait, you're choosing items that represent you or that you identify with. Okay, that's why it's a symbolic self-portrait. Now, I'm going to describe some of the reasons I chose the items I did. So I chose the shirt because I always wore this shirt when I teach. It's like my one of 3 work shirts that I use because I'm frugal. So this is my work shirt, so I included it. I included my computer with my camera because I use it a lot to teach now, as well as my microphone. I included my favorite pair of leather shoes, which I got 2 years ago and have worn at least probably about 3 years ago. I've worn them every other day, and they still are working very strongly. I included a sketchbook because I like to sketch. I included some pencils because I like to draw as well as an eraser. I also included chapstick because I always have dry lips. Alright, and then I thought, you know what, I'm gonna put some of my sketches in the back since I like to sketch. Okay, so it's up to you, what you want to choose and what you want to choose to represent you. But that's the first step, is you're gonna have to find some items that you want to use for your symbolic self-portrait. Now the next step is you're going to be making some thumbnail sketches. Before you do that, I want you to kind of just explore using your viewfinder, okay? That's the one that we used for the negative space drawing. And I want you to explore various framing options, okay? And you could do this vertically, okay, portrait style. You can also do it horizontal. So your symbolic portrait, self-portrait, doesn't have to be portrait style, it also could be landscape. Okay, but I want you to explore the various compositional options, okay? Like if I go down here, that means I could get a little bit of my drawing in there, okay? And that could be interesting. Or perhaps if I turn it portrait, I could get some of my drawing in there, okay? And get some real dramatic depth between that shoe in the front and the drawings in the back. I could also choose something more like this, from kind of a bird's eye view. That could be interesting. I don't really like it over here, so I'm not going to use that angle. Okay, consider how much you want to go, you want to zoom in and how much you want to zoom out. Okay, you don't have to include everything in the still life. Okay, here's another possibility. I think that's an interesting view. Okay, so once you have, a couple of views that you like, you're going to make some thumbnail sketches. Okay, now unfortunately my sketchbook is in my still life, so I can't use it. But you're gonna want to do your thumbnail sketches in your sketchbook. I'm gonna begin trying this one out. Okay, so here's my thumbnail sketches, and remember, thumbnail sketches don't have to look pretty, okay? So here's the first 2 I did, and here is the last one I did. Okay, now I'm most interested in the first one I did, and that's because I like how it includes my drawings, and I like some of the negative space that's created with it. Hello class, so once you've done your thumbnails, okay, and I picked this one, then you're gonna develop it into a sketch, okay, and that'll be done in your sketchbook. Both of these will be done in your sketchbook, okay. I'm doing them on just straight pieces of paper, but you're gonna do them in your sketchbook. Okay, and remember, once you have a thumbnail, you're not stuck to it, okay. You could adjust it, you could change things, it's all up to you. Now with any drawing, you're gonna wanna start with something gestural, okay, something light, something gestural. I would suggest using an HB pencil, okay, and the reason you do that is you wanna keep it very malleable at the beginning. Okay, you don't want to commit to these real dark lines that you can't erase later. And it's up to you. You can cite in your sketch, or you can just kind of draw more intuitively and then you could sight on your still life. It's up to you. Okay, so I'm just gonna start off kind of gestural here. Just drawing very simple shapes. Okay, when you draw gesturally, you could always do an overhand grip, okay? So there's two types of grips that I could show you how to use. One's the overhand, so basically you grab it like this and you pick it up. And the other one's, the way they usually hold the pencil to write. And when I start gesturally, I generally use an overhand grip, just because it allows me to draw more loosely. Okay, and the intention of this sketch is just to kind of help to refine your composition and really just get a better sense of your subject matter. Okay, and then you can flip your pencil over and start to refine things. And it's a sketch, so your lines don't have to look pretty, but it should look a little bit more refined than your thumbnail. And you could start to explore line quality in your sketch. Okay, start to explore what it looks like to make a thicker line in areas of shadow, to make darker lines in the front, and see how that looks. See how much lighter you want to make the one in the back. Okay, this is a good place to experiment because you could always adjust it later, okay, in a very easy way. Okay, since this shoe's a little farther away, I'm gonna do this in a 2B pencil. My 2B pencil is a little small, okay? But realize the 2B is a little bit harder than the 4B. Okay, so this is going to get you a little bit lighter of a line. Now for these drawings in the back, I'm going to use the HB. Okay, I'm going to keep these really light just because I want to show a sense of depth. Okay, and this is rough, okay? This is still a sketch, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm just starting to explore, the possibilities, okay? So when I get to the final drawing, I have a little better idea of what to do. And then I could refine it more in that. Okay, and I might even soften this up a bit more. Okay, and there's my sketch. Okay, it doesn't have to be highly refined, just a means for me to experiment more with line quality and play with the composition. And perhaps I could come in here and start to kind of develop some of these wrinkles. Okay, I think that would be interesting since these shoes have so much character.